Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And you know that today is a VIP day and it's the third Wednesday of the month. So that means my buddy Josh, who's traveling across country on his bike, motorcycle, not pedal, on his bike, is going to be here. We're going to talk today. And today, we're going to talk about where do you see opportunity and where do you draw the line? Now, what is Tigo talking about now? You're going to have to sit right there. We'll be right back.
Expert Talk is sponsored by Pod Nation TV, the podcast to broadcast network.
Hey, welcome back. Many years ago when I said, I don't know why I can't move forward, why I'm stuck. Somebody said I needed to get out of my own way. And they asked me where I saw opportunity. And I went, what are you talking about? And they said, when you talk about the letters Nowhere, where do you draw the line? Opportunity is now here. Opportunity is nowhere. And usually where you draw the line is where you let the fear stop you in your mind. Blew me away. It's changed my life. And I've been running that way ever since. So today we're going to talk about getting out of your own way with my buddy, Josh Koerpel. What's happening, Josh?
Oh, yeah. What's going on, Tigo?
Yeah. What's happening, brother? Okay. Recap. You're out there on the road. I heard something about a clutch brake. What? Are you okay?
I was in the middle of nowhere, Texas. The clutch just started slipping, meaning like the clutch discs were all worn down, and I ended up having to limp my way into this tiny little hole-in-the-wall motorcycle repair shop where they let me work on the bike for 2 days. He actually was nice enough to let me sleep on the floor of the repair shop for both of those nights because I didn't have anywhere else to go. And I got everything fixed, ripped the bike apart, put it all back together, got super dirty and greasy, and now it's running smooth again.
And that didn't stop you. Now, this is a great opportunity to talk about fear because, you know, especially in 2022, we've got mass shootings going on. We've got, you know, what looks like a recession coming. It's a little bit crazy. Some people would have left that bike. I might be one of them, some people, and gotten on a Greyhound and headed back to Florida. But you managed to not only get it repaired, but find someone in America, you know, that still believes in the neighborhood approach and the neighbor, and they let you sleep on the floor. Were you scared to ask? Were you afraid being out there? What happened?
No, I mean, I guess for some context with all of this, like to put it in perspective, you put yourself in these situations where you have no choice but to do it. Like, that has made all of the difference. So like in this particular instance with this breakdown, there's no Geico roadside assistance that can just like help you tow the bike to the nearest BMW place. Yeah, exactly. Like you are straight up on your own. And that's what working on tall ships taught me, is that self-reliance and that confidence to figure out a problem. And so anyway, that's exactly what I did. Of course, everybody feels that fear, but I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing. It means that you care, and it means that it's going to motivate you to figure out what the problem is and take some kind of action to solve it. And that's exactly what happened with the whole clutch thing.
You know, a lot of people started little hobby projects that made them some extra money on the side during COVID. You know, they were either stuck at home or they were laid off or, you know, whatever happened. And they started this and they got very good at it. And they want to start a business. They're like, oh, my goodness, I just want to do this for the rest of my life. I love it. I want to start this business, but they're terrified. They're frozen in stone to do it because they're afraid to step away from that safety net of that 9-to-5 job and step out there and just go for it, what would you tell them?
Well, I would say, I would say probably the dumbest thing that you could do is to simply just quit your job completely and go pursue something, because not only are you going to feel all that fear about it being successful and your idea working, but that will most likely put an enormous amount of financial pressure on you, of which is probably not going to make things better. So, so I think when people say that they're afraid to do that, what they're really afraid of is hard work. I mean, and I
Mm.
say that in the most loving way possible, but to be honest, like, people are weak in my opinion, and if you're not willing to work whatever your idea is, let's say that you want to turn it into a full-fledged business, but if you're not willing to work 3 hours before your 9 to 5 job and 3 hours afterwards, and who knows, maybe you can't because you have a family, you've got kids and other responsibilities, so maybe it's not a full 3 hours, but it is something before and after work,
Mhm.
to get yourself in a position where you can start making incremental progress towards a goal. If you're not willing to do that, then you should just stop right now. But if that's a possibility for you, that's where you should start. And that takes a lot of the fear away from the whole endeavor. And then once you start to get some momentum, that fear will melt away. The action of doing it dissolves that fear. But most people never get to the action step. They just think themselves out of a good idea. So
Mhm.
so that's what I would say is, like, take some incremental, small little action steps.
So what about going against the grain? I'm sure you get a little bit of pressure, or is everybody just used to Josh is going to do what Josh is going to do?
My way, Frank
Yeah.
Sinatra, baby.
But for most of us, when we come up with a business idea or we want to make a change or even change companies, we have family and friends that are, the naysayers. Well, don't do that. Les Brown talks about his family always told him he had a good job at Sears. Don't go do that. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you? You can't be out there. How do you face your own fear and then also deal with, all the people that should be supporting you and having your back? They're the biggest line to get past because they're telling you not to even try.
Yeah, it's a really important point, um, and I don't know how else to say it other than, um, as you go through your life and you start to overcome these challenges and you start to see that most people, if not all of them, they are just as clueless as you are. They are all guessing just like you are, and
Uh-huh.
and so I've made it a principle in my life now, that I never take real life advice from someone that hasn't tried or already done the thing that I'm trying to do. So of course I'll, welcome people's opinions about it and stuff, but I don't give that any weight really whatsoever. The people that have actually done the trip, they've actually, like, put the miles on the bike. They've gone and lived in another country. They've put the business together, whatever it ends up being. Those are the people that I really listen to, and I try to actively filter out everyone else.
Has there ever been any time where you've literally stopped in your own tracks and said, even I'm not going to go out there and do that? That's even bigger than me?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Like from like a traveling perspective, I've done
Yeah.
some pretty stupid stuff, I have to say. And the only reason that I did it was because I really didn't know what it entailed. I was kind of like an ignorance is bliss sort of thing. So I wasn't necessarily afraid. I just said to myself, hey, you know what? We'll just, like, take it and solve problems as they arise. But what I do think that is a very real consequence of the internet now is that
Uh-huh.
people can get too much information
Oh, yeah.
about a thing, and they could use that information to literally dissuade themselves from doing it in the first place. And now that I look back on the stuff that I did, had I known all of the things that would happen, right? Like, I don't know if I would have taken the trip, but in reality, it's those challenges that I faced that 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 I remember the most, that I'm the most proud of. You know, when I talk to people about the trip, I don't talk to them about, oh, we saw this beautiful sunset in New Delhi. No, we talk about all of the breakdowns that happened and how you got out of it, and the stories that arose. So anyway, that's what I think is that yeah, there might be some things that are a little bit too big, but really just go out there and do it and let the action provide the clarity.
You're amazing. One, we got to put that on a t-shirt. Let the action provide the clarity. That is really cool. But tell everybody how they can follow you, because you know they want to follow you to your next destination and your next trip.
JoshKoerpel.com, Koerpel. And same thing on Instagram and Facebook. That's the best way to find me. Like, keep tabs on me, make sure I didn't die.
Ooh, let's not put that out there. Okay. I want to thank you for hanging out this month, man. I can't wait to see what we're going to talk about next month. And yeah, we need to put a GoPro in your helmet and go with you sometimes. I love it. Thank you, sir.
See ya.
You are the best. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I hope you come back next time. And yeah, where do you draw the line? NOWHERE. Opportunities are now here. Opportunities are nowhere. Think about it. I hope to see you here next time. I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.